you can depend on.
We're not live on YouTube.
Business Express. Brought to you by EnterSwitch. Transaction solutions you can depend on.
Good morning and welcome into the time for Business Express. My name is Lakumi and this is Smooth 98.1 FM. I have with me Rotus joining me this morning. Hi Rotus, are you there?
Yes, good morning Lakumi. Good morning to all our listeners. Great to be with you all. Hope everybody's good.
Please remember that we are live on YouTube streaming this particular segment. You can join Rotus and myself as we discuss some interesting stuff about flights and ban and all that stuff going on in, well, how does it really affect business? So yes, again, this is Business Express 91. To join the conversation, it is 0809 444 0981, 0809 444 0981. Let's get into it, Rosus.
Yeah, so as of today, Emirates Airlines has suspended all flights to and from Nigeria. They're going to be ceasing operations effective today, December the 13th. This is in retaliation to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority restricting Emirates flights into Nigeria to once a week. They've reduced the frequency of flights coming in. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is also claiming that that move is in retaliation for the United Arab Emirates reducing Air Peace flights into, I believe it is Sharjah Airport, reducing their slots from 3 slots to 1. So airlines have particular number of slots in particular airports where they fly to frequently. Just to read a letter from the UAE's General Civil Aviation Authority, they said Air Peace pulled out of Sharjah Airport and should not expect to retain its flight frequency there. So again, this is a letter that they wrote to Nigeria. They said Air Peace initially operated at Sharjah Airport, shifted to Dubai Airport, and then returned to Sharjah Airport. It would be unreasonable for an airline to expect any airport to maintain their slots when they ceased operating at that airport. So it says, in this regard, we wish to kindly advise you that Sharjah Airport is currently operating at 140% capacity, which means they're over capacity. But with goodwill and tremendous efforts on their side, the airport was able to accommodate Air Peace with 1 of the 3 slots that the airline requested. So for some operational reason, Air Peace switched the use of that airport. And what they're saying is that, look, Dubai is a very busy airport. Sharjah Airport is very busy. You left the airport, went to another airport, and then you wanted to come back. We can't give you the slots that you wanted. So we reduced your slots because somebody else took over the slots. That's what they're saying. I think Air Peace is denying this. They're saying that's not the case, but that's what they're saying in their letter. So when that slot was reduced, Nigeria, by the way, Nigeria and the UAE, they've been going back and forth since March of this year. I think UAE was reducing flights from Nigeria because they were worried about COVID restrictions and so on. Nigeria then retaliated. So they've been going back and forth. And this was 5 days ago, or was it 6 days ago? The Emirates said that they were resuming flights full scale to Nigeria. And then this whole thing happened. So in fact, I'm not sure if you've heard this video recording from Hardy Sirika, who is the Minister of State for Aviation. It was
about the ban.
Yeah, where it's talking about the ban, where it was saying that, you know, he's going to fight for Nigerians, that there's 200 million people that he has to fight for, and that's the reason why Nigeria has to do this. So this is the latest diplomatic row between the UAE and Nigeria. Now, you know, who is this hurting? You know, you have to ask yourself if because again, they reduced Air Peace slots into the UAE. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority responded and now reduced Emirates flights coming to Nigeria. So I think they used to come 3 times a week. They reduced it to once a week. Emirates now responded again and said, you know what, in that case, we've canceled all our flights to and from Nigeria. So, well, look, for people, you have to ask yourself, how many Nigerians do business in the UAE? How many people go there for vacation? How many people trade in goods and services from there? Versus how many people in the United Arab Emirates come to Nigeria for business, come to Nigeria for vacation? Who is losing, right? Is Emirates possibly losing more because more Emirates flights, come to Nigeria? You have to ask yourself. The President Buhari was at the Dubai Expo 2020 recently. Dubai hosted a big, international expo for different countries to showcase their goods and services for networking and so on. Dubai hosted I think it was an air show for the Aviation Authority. Air Peace and some other airlines ordered new aircraft at that show. So if you want to compare the two, it's up to our listeners to decide who is losing out more on this.
Is it really up to our listeners to decide? Actually, the data.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that you can. Okay, who do you think is losing between the two?
Okay, so this is technically Air Peace versus Emirates, right?
Well, not really Air Peace versus Emirates, because it's really Nigeria versus UAE, and Air Peace and Emirates are like proxies. Yeah. So because Air Peace was restricted to go into Sharjah Airport, according to the UAE, they said it's because Air Peace at the last minute switched between this airport and another one. And then Nigeria now reacted and said, okay, if you're going to restrict our airline coming into your airports, we are going to restrict your Emirates airline. So, so from that perspective, is Nigeria hurting Nigerians from not allowing them now to fly into the UAE? Is Emirates hurting itself because it gets so much business from Nigeria? That's the thing. That's the unfortunate situation that needs to be reviewed. I mean, if you ask me, should Nigeria have reacted that way by restricting Emirates? I don't know if that was a smart move, but then what they're saying is you have to respect us and respect our airlines. You can't just go and restrict their access, their number of slots into your airport. But UAE is saying that it was Air Peace that at the last minute switched to another airport. So you can imagine Olakumi Airlines Limited, fly into Murtala Mohammed on a regular basis.
Then you decided to change your mind. At the last minute
say, okay, I'm going to switch to Nnamdi Azikiwe in Abuja. And Murtala Mohammed is saying, look, Olakumi, Murtala Mohammed is a really busy airport. You can't just switch and say you're going to go to Nnamdi Azikiwe in Abuja, then change your mind and switch back again to Murtala Mohammed.
I understand this, yes.
Yeah.
So the thing is, but Air Peace is denying that this is not what happened, right?
Exactly. They are saying that that's not true. So that's the part that's a little confusing, because airlines, you pay for slots. When it's like using a parking lot when you fly into somewhere. I'm not sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Ade says, who's going to manage the loss better, UAE or Nigeria?
Well, look, if for UAE, I don't know if they are flexing or they're trying to form for us, because a lot of Nigerians fly into the UAE and a lot of Nigerians use Emirates. So you have to say that Emirates is going to be, losing some type of money. But should the Nigerian government have gotten involved with a private airline? Air Peace is not a national carrier, right? Air Peace is a private airline. That was a private issue between Air Peace and the UAE. Okay. So was it wise for the Nigerian government to get involved and say, okay, we're going to restrict Emirates from coming into Nigeria simply because they restricted the number of slots in an airport given to Air Peace? So that's the question some people are asking.
Yes. Lenin is kind of in tune with me here, saying, oh, Rotus, you know what? The data is supposed to prove this thing, whether or not this is a smart move and all that. So he says that the truth is this is a slap to Nigeria. Nigeria allows Emirates to our first-class airport, but they send us to their second-class airport when Nigeria has by far the largest number of air passengers in Africa. This is a very necessary move, he says. If you want respect, you must know when to stand your ground. find out properly about Emirates' claim about the switch, because it's simply not true. That's learning. Well, learning how sure are you as well. Okay, let's see if Dikwa says some of the Nigerian embassy in Asia are not functioning, so expatriates choose Dubai route to get into Nigeria, sadly. This is about economic strength. This is from Daniel. Economic strength. We have nothing to fight with. Giant of nothing, he says. These all started with the government allowing South Africa delegates to what? Okay, Chuku, I'm not sure I get your message, but Shola from Yaba says, Rotus, don't get it. It's about changing airport. It is about not getting the 3 slots requested against 21 slots Emirates is getting in land. UAE is being disrespectful. That's what Shola says. Mike, you guys always, okay, I'm just going to move to Gabriel. What first-class airport do we have? That's a question from Gabriel to Lenin. And then Otunuga says, Air Peace may be a private airline, but it's a Nigerian business and has to be protected. Rotus, don't get it wrong. That's what Otunuga is saying. Rotus, should we get into other stories? We have just a few minutes.
Well, no, I mean, if we only have a few
more
minutes,
messages though.
Yeah, keep going with the messages.
Okay, so Tokwe says, what do you guys want exactly? Air Peace doesn't have to be a government-owned company. It's a Nigerian company. Of course, the government have to step in. Other countries do it as well. I am not a fan of this government, but on this, they're on spot. It looks like almost all our listeners are agreeing with the government on this one. Shola, okay. Let's see. I think Lenin is responding to that question. An airline, okay, well, he goes on to say, an airline cannot shift location without the authorization of the regulatory authority. Please, let's think. Whether your airport is not world-class is not the discussion for today. That is your best airport. That's Lenin speaking. Okay. Energy, love it. All right, Rotus, what do you have to say?
Yeah, look, so again, you see, this is why I said it's up to listeners to decide, who is in the wrong here, because it's a complicated issue. I cannot, if the Civil Aviation Authority in the UAE is saying that is saying that Air Peace is the one that just switched airports last minute.
Yes.
And as a result, they are over capacity and they couldn't give them their slots, then, okay, that's their word against Air Peace. Air Peace is saying that's not true. So that is the issue here. Did Air Peace just at the last minute switch airports? That's the whole matter. Basically, they're saying that Sharjah Airport is very, very busy, and there are other airlines that need those slots. So if you switch, you've lost your place in line, basically, and so you can't just come back again and expect to get those things. So that's what they're saying. Yes. I guess hopefully, the Emirates did say that this is a temporary situation. They are hoping to resume flights to Nigeria once the situation gets resolved. So hopefully we'll see whether cooler heads can prevail and this matter can be settled. Because look, if you're a Nigerian who was planning, if you had a ticket for today, 13th of December, flying to Dubai, you're not going to go in. So, if you have a family in Dubai coming into Nigeria, then there's an issue. You won't be able to fly, at least with Emirates. You have to buy another ticket with another airline. It's going to cause them some inconvenience.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined the conversation this morning. This was really engaging. Please, let's keep the conversation going on social media. Rotus is at Rotem Quote on social media, and we are at Smooth 981. Smooth 981. Find us on all social media platforms with that handle. You know what? Let's just carry the conversation over there and let's continue. We're going to have this. Segment again tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. with Rotus. Rotus is going to be here. Thank you so much, Rotus, for joining the show.
Thank you, Olakumi. Thanks, everybody.
Good to have you. Okay, all right. So we're gonna get straight into good and lovely, great music. Right after that, we're going to come back 7:30 for Freshly Pressed 981. That is where we're going to be analyzing some of our top headlines for the morning. So you don't want to miss that segment. My name is Lakumi, and this is Smooth 98.1.
Brought to you by EnterSwitch. Transactions.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just.
I know you're distracted by these ones that are asking, where is this? Where is that? I know. It happens.
Is it possible for